Hi everyone, welcome to another Escapement Show. Sorry, we aren't on schedule. We're not doing the Saturday. We didn't do the Saturday show, and it's a Sunday show. But I was away Watch Pro Salon in London yesterday, and it was a great show. Great to meet up with a lot of people. Met with Andrew Morgan and the Mad Watch Collector and D thank you to D from the D Time Love Show for getting me my media pass, which I still haven't taken off. And yeah, big respect to him for sorting me that out. And yeah, really good show. Saw some lovely watches and met up with some great people. My friend Brian Leach from Siderius Watches in Ireland, and yeah, loads of other people. Mark P, great to see you. Great to meet you for the first time, and yeah, had a great time. Lovely. So we'll crack on. Good to see some people in the chat. Who we got? We got Mick. We got Kevin Hawthorne, Mick in Florida. He wants to know where I'm located. I'm in the UK, Mick. So yeah, it's boring UK. It's dismal and getting cold here. Not like JCB, you know. It's getting nice and warm in Australia.
Yep.
And good morning.
Yeah, that Hawaiian shirt is actually an offense for everybody who's living here in cold, miserable Europe.
And then good morning to Kevin Hawthorne. Great to see you, Kevin. A stalwart
Kevin,
viewer.
welcome.
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah. So yeah, we've had the GPHG results on Thursday, haven't we? And they're a bit of a oh, Chili Burger. Great to see you.
Hey, Chili
Top of the
Burger.
morning from Badger Towers. Hope you're feeling better, my friend. Hope your hand's a bit better.
Good to see you, Chili.
Yeah.
Not good to see you, Chili, my favorite troll.
Yeah, we had the GPHG results on Thursday, and they're a bit funny, weren't they? Missed out a couple of categories and added in a few new categories. And we did a show a while back where we had the Watch Apprentice on, and Abdul and myself and the Watch Apprentice picked our picks. So if you haven't seen that, check that show out, and you can. Bit old news now, because now that we've got all the results in, but you can check that out. And but quickly first, should we do a quick wristwatch check? Yeah.
Go for it.
So I've got my Tudor P01 on.
Nice.
Oh, I didn't know that you had one.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So
Tudor. Did Tudor pay you to wear that, Thomas?
no. No.
Okay, just checking because judging by the results of GPHG, I thought they just might have slipped you a little something under the
yeah, but
usual Tudor stuff.
Judging by the GPHG results, Tudor always seem to win something, don't they? So
yeah,
I think there's some backhanders going on there. But they did have a lot of quite a few watches entered, didn't they, into different categories? So it was going to happen. It was inevitable that they were going to win something.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's still some backhanders going on. Abdul, what are you wearing?
I'm actually trying out the Christopher Ward, what do you call it? C1 Moonglow. It's a moon phase watch.
Moon phase. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's really nice. they send me the watch for a couple of weeks to try it out and do a video about it. So I'm really excited. I really like the.
How do you
move.
like the aventurine dial?
It's like half aventurine, half normal dial. I don't know if you can see it well in the camera. It's a bit different than the one, the full aventurine dial. But it's nice. I like it. It's just like the whole idea, the big moon phase. I know you hate the big moon phase.
Did I say that?
No, I saw in one of the videos you were talking about. I was yeah, but actually, I do quite enjoy night. So I fill it up with lume, and it looks really nice, really nice. Yeah.
Lovely. I was interested about that watch. It's the C1 moon phase, and it's a new release, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
Yeah, I was interested. I'll be interested to hear your opinion on that. I'll watch your review. So if anybody doesn't know, Abdul's got his own channel, Abdul R Watches. Check that out on YouTube. Please, and also on Instagram, are you, Abdul?
Yeah, same Abdul R Watches as well.
Abdul R Watches again on Instagram. So yeah, check him out and check out his review for that. Jonathan, we can't see you, but what are you wearing today? Are you using this Sven Anderson?
Yeah, yes, I'm wearing my BCHH Celestial Voyager, so the world timer is on the wrist right now.
Beautiful, beautiful, love it. Y2K, what are you wearing today? A nice big
I'm a
watch,
bit
I
of.
hope.
Sorry.
A nice big watch, I hope.
Well, today I have a bit of a micro brand. It's called Alexander Christie. It's nothing big and fancy, not popular, but they call this the EXP. It's got a very beautiful dome crystal on top of it, as you can see. So this is a quartz watch. It's got a chronometer with, I actually just bought this for fun because I felt it looked very nice. And let me just get it off my wrist. Yeah, so here you go, guys. It really has a dome crystal. It's very pronounced.
Yeah.
And this has been my...
Those two bridges look like MBNF, so...
Yes, right here. Yeah. So I think, I think this is really one fun part about doing micro brands and that we don't really know about. Yeah.
what watches are for fun? That's what we buy them for, isn't it? Really,
Indeed.
I'm not interested in all this value retention and investment. Sort of carry on. We buy watches for fun and buy what we love. And so, JCB, what are you wearing today?
Look, I don't have anything really GPHG related, but the closest thing I've got is the Breitling
Transocean. Love it.
I think Breitling had an entry in the GPHG, which was I think it was a Navitimer in the Icon class. So this is sort of the closest the closest I had. So just rocking that one, and it matches the shirt too. So that's the main thing.
So I'll just pull up the GPHG. I'm not going to go to the prize screen that we had. I'm just going to go to the... If this is the right one. Nominees, the nominated timepieces, so that we can see all of them. So, there's a ladies' watch category, and Abdul, you picked the Hermes to win this one.
Yeah, I thought I really liked it, and also I played on the notion that GPHG does a lot of politics in the winners. So as I noticed that Tudor always wins, I noticed also that Hermes wins a lot, like Van Cleef & Arpels also wins. So I chose this one on that basis, that Hermes should win somehow a prize, and the lady's watch was the most, let's say, the highest probability that I saw that they would win.
Yeah.
So you were playing political games with your choice.
Yeah. But at the end, I lost because they didn't win.
Yeah, the winner was quite a surprise for me, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Watch Apprentice chose the Arnold and Son, which was
yeah, I like that watch too.
pretty dial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
Would that have been your choice, JCB?
Yeah, it would have. Yeah, just look at that thing. It's just stunning.
Mhm.
Beautiful, beautiful piece.
Yeah.
I think, imagine your lady is wearing that watch, 38 mils full of diamonds. It would make her feel like, top of the world. And, as a guy, you could look at that and really, really admire it and really appreciate it. The craftsmanship and just the look of the piece. The colors are really nice too. Just a spanking piece.
And if I'm not mistaken, that's platinum. The moon and this half of the dial. It's not actually diamonds. It's platinum.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
It's. I think it was hammered or something like this. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's. I saw a video when they were talking about the GPHG watches, and they were saying about this watch that it looks like diamond, but this part, that these two parts are actually platinum.
Okay.
Right.
Cool.
I'll just say hello to Mark P.
Hey, Mark.
Hi, guys. Just joining for a minute, but we'll watch later. Great to see
Good to see you, Mark.
Great to meet you yesterday, Mark. It was lovely to meet you. But yeah, we'll carry on. I liked a lot of them. I like the Piaget. I like the Arnold and Son. I like the Van Cleef and Arpels. But my pick to win was this one.
Yes.
The XRBY Le Montre d'Art. I just thought it was stunning. I mean,
yeah, that's a nice piece too. That one.
That's
limited
really
to nice inspired by Vasily Kandinsky's abstract art, and they teamed up with an architect, designer, and enameler, Matteo Staffasher, to create this cloisonné enamel dial and of the timepiece. It's just stunning. Limited to 7 pieces. Was this your pick, Jonathan?
Yes, that would have been my pick as well. I'm a sucker for cloisonné dials. You have a cloisonné dial on the front, and the rotor is also with a cloisonné. So that is just stunning. Wow. And it's the only watch with a proper movement in the ladies category. So it was easy for me to pick, but I knew that I wouldn't win. I'm a little bit disappointed with the winner because I think that is not really innovative. That is just like the winner does since the 1960s. So I was a little bit disappointed by.
Did you have a pick, Y2K? Did you have a favorite out of these?
To be honest, I didn't really track on the GPHG, and they're a bit too fancy schmancy for me.
But what would be your favorite out of these ladies' watches? Do you think?
Definitely the one on top right, the blue and the white, the one that has the moon
Hermes.
face.
The Hermes, yeah.
I may be a bit biased because sometimes when people say that a brand that we all know that makes bags suddenly goes into watches, so that I admit I'm a bit biased. Like how do they, I think about the QA/QC of the quality assurance and quality control. Will it be as good as a regular watch? So, but in terms of design, I think only that one actually did catch my eye. While the rest is a bit, I guess because it's meant for ladies, it's a bit too much color for me. Yeah.
So Thomas, that art piece, the cloisonné one, how do you pronounce that brand?
XRBY. I don't know.
It's XRBY. Okay, cool.
I can only imagine that's it. Yeah, by Le Montre d'Art.
I would say it's XR by.
XR, yeah, it could be. Yeah, XR by. Yeah.
And Chili Badger says that's not a good watch if you have a hangover.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think he has a point.
Yeah. Get a headache. Hey, Russ, I see you. Good morning, Russ.
Yeah, hi, Russ. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Russ.
Saying, good morning, watch people. Yeah.
Good morning, watch people.
Yeah, I feel that the winner here is somehow the least watch that I would think would win from the 6, to be honest.
So this is the winner, the Piaget Hidden Treasures. Yeah, it's very retro 70s styling, isn't it? 60s, 70s styling.
Yeah, it's the type of watch that Piaget does since the 1960s, typical with the turquoise dial, and that bark finish is also a thing of the 1960s. Don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful piece, but it's
more
just
jewelry. It's more jewelry than horology, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, but that doesn't bother me. It's just the lack of innovation that bothers me.
Yeah, right.
It's just like people would nominate the Rolex Day Date every year.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, if you showed me this watch 10 years ago or 50 years ago or whatever, tell me this one is a vintage, I would believe it. I would believe that this the 70s, 60s, whatever, because it doesn't feel innovative, like you're saying.
Yeah, good point.
But on the other hand, it's always good to see Piaget being a winner, because Piaget is really overlooked, particularly when it comes to their jewelry watches. So I don't have hard feelings about that. I'm a little bit sad because Piaget can do other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. They do get overlooked, Piaget. They've done some great stuff over the years, and yeah. So, ladies' complication.
But we are here now, 5 men who are bad mouthing the choice of the ladies category. So probably we're the wrong forum to talk about this.
Complication, and there's the Sven Anderson here. So there's Sven Anderson world timer, just like yours, but in a ladies configuration. And would you have gone for that, Jonathan?
To be honest, not. You know how much I like the concept. I personally don't think that it's a true ladies watch.
No.
Particularly if you keep in mind that watch is 37.8 millimeters, and they even have a 40 millimeter perpetual calendar IWC in that category. So I'm not sure what went wrong when they put that watch in the ladies category. And people have been mocking me now for months that my watch was nominated in the ladies category of the GPHG. So and you know how fragile my ego is. So
yeah. So Abdul, you picked this one, which was the Gucci timepieces G timeless planetarium with diamond studded stars.
Can you pull up Russ' comment, because as always he's missing the point. I was asking him about the ladies category, not ladies complication, and he replied to about the ladies complication.
That one?
Yeah. I was actually between the Dior and the Gucci. Okay, I saw Dior and I saw Gucci, and I played the scenario in my mind. They definitely want to give a prize to one of these two, let's say politically speaking, and I chose at the end this one, but the other one it actually won. But yeah, that was the mindset behind the selecting of this one, to be honest.
Yeah, it was an interesting watch, this one. I mean, I think the center rotated, didn't it? And but an interesting pick. Interesting to see Gucci upping their game in the horology world, and really sort of boosting their movements. The watch apprentice went for the Louis Vuitton Tambour. Louis Vuitton doing their automated watches with the, I think the rose is opened and closed on this, the rose petals. An interesting one. I quite like the tambos, named after a drum. I went for the one that eventually won, which was the Dior, which you said you would have chosen as well, Abdul.
Mm-hmm.
The Dior Montres Grand Soir Automate Étoile de Monsieur Dior. I don't know whether I pronounced that right.
Yeah, it was quite good.
Another automation featured timepiece, like the Louis Vuitton. I think the stars went over the moved around on a disc, and there's a little bit of automata on this one. But it's quite a nice watch.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that Russ said that. Russ says, "I knew what you asked. I was ignoring you." So yeah, kudos to him. I'm a little bit surprised that Mr. Russell chose. Oh no, I lost my thought. Yeah, that he chose a quartz watch, because this watch is quartz operated. Only the automaton is mechanical. So his choice was surprising to me, particularly because the watch is called Monsieur Dior, so it's a lady's watch that has Mr. Dior in the name, which is also a little bit confusing, I would say. On the other hand, I agree, this is visually very nice, and the automaton is very nice. I'm trying to find a video, but Dior is not making it very easy for us, so I'm still trying to find a video of it.
What would have been your pick, JCB?
I would have gone for the Chopard, actually. The jumping hours. I just like it looks. There's a lot of diamonds, but also I'm a big sucker for jumping hours, and I think
me too.
The way that the minutes are displayed there, I think it works in the flower. Maybe it changes the color of the petal or something. I think that's how it works. Yeah, so it's just pretty cool watch, that one.
Yeah, it looks lovely. Really does.
Yeah.
Really nice. I'm a big fan of jump hours as well, like yourself.
Yeah.
That complication. What about you, Y2K? Do you have any favorites in these?
Yes. Perhaps previously, I think for me, I like one thing about all these pieces. Number one for me is definitely the Beauvais Recital 27. Yeah, for me, I've always had this.
There's
Sorry?
not a Beauvais in this ladies' complication category.
Oh yeah, but to me, I really prefer the stuff that's a bit out of the ladies' room. Yeah. But in terms, the Gucci, which you mentioned, right? The Gucci one. There's something called the Timeless Planetarium. Is it there? Yeah. So this one actually I do quite like. Now I give 4 stars for this one out of creativity and how I like the fact that it's just pretty unique to me, and the whole concept of the way they've made this with diamond studded stars. I think that's really a real bling bling. Go big or go home. Yeah. I normally do not endorse like fashion brands watches, but in this case I will have to give them some credit for creativity. Yeah,
absolutely. Like I say, they seem to be upping their game in the horology world, Gucci, so why not? So, the men's category, there are some great watches in this category, and the Audemars Piguet Code 1159. Abdul picked the Chef d'Oeuvre Japy. as did I think JCB. This was your favorite, and I love this as well. And the minute inert with the stop to go function, a bit like the
like the Monday.
Yeah.
Thomas, can I tell you a story how weird my friend Russ, who is also here in the comments, is? So this watch works just like you said, like a mundane stop to go. So it means the little second, the small second, goes around not in 1 minute, it goes around in 58 minutes, in 58 seconds, then stops for 2 seconds, and then continues to move on. So Russ bothered to count the number of seconds on that circle, and he told me this is wrong because it should have 58 increments and not 60. And I asked him, please tell me you haven't counted the number of minutes, and he said, of course I did. So.
You lost me with that one.
I lost you with my joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, his point is, and I think that point is right, that small second is revolving within 58 seconds and then stops.
Yeah, and then stops. Yeah.
So if you're really anal, this should have been 58 steps and not 60 steps on that dial.
Oh, right, okay.
And Ross was pointing that out, and my reply was, did you count the number of minutes of seconds on that track? And he said, of course I did.
Ross,
I think if it was 58, it wouldn't have jumped, right? It would just continue.
It wouldn't jump, yeah. It wouldn't jump.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? So
yeah,
when you have 60, you can see the jump at least.
Yeah. That's the whole part of the jump, I think.
Yeah, but the last 2 seconds would be imprecise.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we'll skip on from that. I think that was your favorite as well, JCB, wasn't it? Did you
yeah, I think so. Yeah. Just stepping back though and looking at these though, I think the Ferdinand Berthoud sort of jumps out as looking really cool, and also the Simon Brett as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Watch Apprentice went with the Debatoon. He loved that one. Yeah. The Starry Seas. Not my favorite of the lot. I love the Debatoon, but yeah, it wouldn't be my pick. As JCB pointed out, I love the Ferdinand Berthoud. They're one of my favorite brands. I love the Star Wheel. The Ferdinand Berthoud there. Look at that. I mean, what you can't not love that. I mean, it's cylindrical hairspring. Yeah, I love the Star Wheel. The original Star Wheel was brilliant. I love the new Code 1159 Star Wheel.
Is anyone else bothered by the central second of that Star Wheel? Or
yeah, it is a bit unnecessary, isn't it?
I think the watch would be much better without the central second hand.
Yeah, I agree. And the Simon Brett is absolutely Bill. Great to have you.
Hi, Bill.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hi. How you
Hey,
guys
Bill.
doing? I just woke up. I won't make any sense for a little while, but I did want to say. Wanted to see you guys.
It's lovely to see you. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, Dr. Bill Sanders, everyone. Welcome him to the show. Yeah, we were just talking about the men's category. There are some really great picks, and we were talking about the ones we loved, but it was an interesting one. They sort of discounted the men's category, didn't they? And we ended up with sort of 2 categories emerging from it, where Simon Brett won what they called the Horological Revelation Prize, and which was a sort of new category they made up, and they discarded the men's category altogether, and we invented the Horological Revelation category.
It's great to see all of these faces, Abdul and Jean-Claude. I mean, it's all they have to do is look at my ugly mug, but I don't get to see them, so I'm glad to see them.
That's even.
What were your thoughts on the Simon Brett, Bill?
On the what?
The Simon Brett chronometer artisans.
Oh, I like it very much. Mathieu Allegre, who did the design of both our Etude number 1 and Etude number 2 for Larique, did the design for the Chronomet artisans. So naturally, I couldn't say, well, he did yeah, no bias at all. I wouldn't want, but I do like it. I think we had the observatory hands on ours, and so I like to think we influenced everybody who had observatory hands, going all the way back to, I think, the 1930s when Omega first had it. Somehow it was Larique's influence. And you can see it on Simon Britt too.
Yeah, they copied Larique. He copied Larique.
I wouldn't go that far. Hello, Bill. But with all respect, Simon Brett added an internal angle on that observatory hand. So I think he went over the top with that. And in my opinion, this is a spectacular watch. I remember when it was presented, everybody who reviewed it was just raving and crazy about it. I didn't understand it in the first place, to be honest. But then on a second look, I discovered how far he went and how crazy he went. And in my opinion, still, this is the watch of the year 2023. It's just stunning. And Thomas had the privilege to see it in real life.
Yeah, I saw him in Waterford at the Festival of Time in Ireland, and he's such a lovely man to meet. And tried the watch on, and is stunning. The dragon scale gold dial that is done by an artist called Yazime. It's just absolutely mind-blowing to look at. It's just beautiful. And I wish Simon all the best. He said he's all the subscription pieces sold out. There are 12 of them, I believe, and he's doing 99 more pieces in the future, in tantalum, steel, rose gold, and titanium. He's going to do them in, so that's going to be very interesting to see those come in. 99 different pieces, and they're going to be, the subscription piece was €50,000, and the titanium one's going to be €65,000, and then the gold ones will be more than that. But he said in 2026 he's going to hopefully start a new watch, a different watch. So
for sure he's already working on it then.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Sounds like he's already working on that. But I wanted this to win the Petit Aiguille. I wanted this to win the, not Petit Aiguille, the grand prize, the Aiguille d'Or, yeah, the Aiguille d'Or. I wanted this to win the Aiguille d'Or, but I thought this was it would really elevated him to something else. But horological revelation, I mean, it's interesting that they made a new category for him, and congratulations to him. It's great. But the other watch that was they made a new category for was this one, the third number,
Yes.
the chronometry prize. So they, as I say, they got rid of the men's category, and this is the chronometry prize, the chronometer FB3S PC with its cylindrical hairspring. You fan of this one, Bill?
This is the one I picked to win the grand prize. I really like his work, and I'm trying to remember, there was something about it that had in the movement that was quite special, and the fact that it won the Chronomet prize, there you go. So things like that. This is really his work. I think is quite good.
They're now owned by Chanel, aren't they? I believe.
No. They're owned by Chopard.
Chopard.
Yeah.
I get the C's mixed up. Chopard. They're bought out by Chopard, and but the head of Chopard is extremely passionate about the Ferdinand Berthoud brand. Of course, Ferdinand Berthoud being Breguet's mentor, Ferdinand Louis Breguet. Not Ferdinand Louis Breguet. Abraham Louis Breguet's mentor back in the day, and I love Ferdinand Berthoud. I think they're just stunning pieces. Anyone, anything else to add, Abdul? What did you think to this one?
Yeah, it's an amazing watch. I understand the GPHG jury that they wanted 2 watches from that category to win, so they just split up the men's category into 2 prizes to keep the people happy and say, hey, this watch is amazing and the other one is amazing, so we have 2 winners instead of choosing one out of them.
I may get crucified for this. I'm a little bit disappointed by that Ferdinand Berthoud. I'm the biggest Ferdinand Berthoud fanboy of their previous watches that had a tourbillon and a fusée and chain, and their watches were around double of the price of this one. And I think I appreciate the cylindrical hairspring, yes, but other than that, I would have hoped to see a tourbillon or a fusée and chain on that one, just to keep up. So I feel buying that for half the price of the other ones, you're getting a bad deal. I think the better deal is when they go full blast with a tourbillon, fusée and chain. That is my personal opinion.
I think they've done that already with the FB1, haven't they? The pillar construction cased octagonal one, which was their first watch, and they did a fusée and chain and tourbillon and everything in that one. So they're obviously just doing a different design. What were your opinions, Y2K, on this one?
I found it very hard to. Well, number one, let me be fair. I've never really looked into Ferdinand Berthoud's brand, so. But in terms of complication wise, I will give them credit. Meanwhile, although I'm looking at the specs of it, I'm still quite alright with it. Now the thickness is probably what's actually amazed me, because thickness is 9.43 millimeters, and I'm a bit more of a specs person, so I would say that this is okay for me. But in my heart, there's another one down below the list that actually has captured me already. Yes.
Yeah. And JCB, what do you reckon?
Oh yeah, this watch is great. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I can see why they created another category to give it the chronometry prize. So, and Y2K, I actually like a thinner watch, so 9.8 mil or whatever it was. That's all good with me, mate. Yeah, No, I love this watch. It's fantastic.
So move on quickly to the men's complication, and Abdul loved the Voutilanen World Timer. It's a cracker. The watch apprentice loved the Parmigiani Fleurier, which I love the Parmigiani Fleurier Tonda PF case, and I tried on the original. This is using the Minute Rattrapant. But I don't think it would be a worthy winner. And I like the vintage car inspired which one am I talking about now? Checking my notes. I like the Beauvais 1822. I really like that one.
Me too, Thomas. Me too.
Yeah, the way that the calendar, sort of skeletonized calendar wheels that you could see, I thought that was lovely.
Yeah, that was my favorite as well. But I understand, because they gave an award to another Beauvais men's watch, that they couldn't award two of the Beauvais. Having said that, I was a little bit disappointed. I was infuriated that Voutilanen won that category, but later on it made sense. But
I
appreciate Voutilanen, but on this watch, basically he just took his existing movement and put it into a cushion-shaped watch, and we're talking here about men's complication and not evolution or anything. So I would have preferred if another watch would have won the prize.
Yeah.
You know, last year they gave Hermes in the 2022 version. Hermes had it almost exactly the same watch for men's complication and ladies' complication.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, I don't know. Yeah. So I don't know if they couldn't have done it. I'm not sure. A long time ago, I lost track of how things worked with this. I know that they have, everybody gets to vote on the ones for the nominations, but I don't even know whether all of their votes, if the sort of behind the scenes, the judges don't say, oh, well, we left out Tudor this year, so we better scoot it in to either sports, Petite Aiguille, or challenge. So I don't think necessarily they left out the 1822 because they're going to give the prize to something else. Voutilanen, isn't the underlying movement the Vin Jade on that one?
Van Huit.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, with the world timer module on.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
I still like it, but I mean, it's like there are all kinds of different rules. Larique found out last year that if we put a watch in that was under. They thought we were gaming them when we put our watch in the Petite Aiguille. And what we heard before that the people were complaining that we had somehow, sort of put a heavyweight into a lightweight competition. And they're right. But still, it doesn't mean that we should have got hammered. Yeah, no, I don't know. I sort of guessed this one would win, but I don't know if it was the one.
Yeah, I think you're right, Bill. I don't know that it's the one, but I mean, it had a sort of the case shape was very. It sort of split people, the case shape, didn't it?
It's Marmite, yes.
Yeah, it's very Marmite, the case shape. You're right there, Jonathan. It's take it or leave it. Some people didn't like it because of the case shape, and some people accepted the case shape. But I saw the watch again in Ireland, and when Carrie was wearing it, it looks beautiful on him. But when you looked at it in hand, it was very Marmite again.
You're just starstruck. Come on, Thomas, admit it.
I am starstruck. He's a lovely gentleman to talk to. He's a really nice gentleman.
Nothing wrong with it. I love Carrie in London.
Yeah, but I thought the spring-loaded crown of the rotated the city ring was a great feature. I really like the spring-loaded crown on it. It was a really great feature. But there were some quirky ones. This RTA was a weird one, I thought. Changing colours. Innovative. Changing colours with crystals. But I think that was the only thing that was interesting about it. And I think that the Audemars Piguet was concept split-second chronograph, GMT, large date. I mean, the Royal Oak concepts are sort of the high-end Royal Oaks, but this was just too busy a dial for me.
This would have been my winner for the main reason how they integrated the automatic winding system and that clutch system for the rattrapante in the middle. That is very innovative, and they also did that on that super complicated watch that won the big prize.
Yeah, did you have any favorites, JCB or Y2K?
Yeah, the Beauvais, that's just a beautiful looking watch. That was my favorite for sure. Yeah, I really, really like this watch. It's probably one of my favorite watches in the whole entry, in the whole competition, to be honest. I just think it looks fantastic, and you got the triple time zone function, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful piece. And one of the cool things about it, it doesn't really have that typical Beauvais lug situation at the top, which can be a bit Marmite. So it's the
Amadeo sort of.
Yeah, so I just think I think they were robbed, really, to be honest, with this one. Because compare this to the Voutilainen. I mean, yeah, the Voutilainen, it's got the world time function, but this watch is just so much more interesting looking. The way that they've thought about the symmetry and all of the layout, and it's just a fantastic piece. This was probably one of my favorites here, as I said, in the whole competition, to be honest.
Y2K, who you go with?
I would definitely have to go. I would definitely agree with JCB. Like I actually had to have like a top 3, because number one, like the Beauvais is brilliant, absolutely nice. I love it, and I love the complications, the hours, the effort that goes into making the whole piece. The second for me is the Artia Tiny Purity Tourbillon Chameleon. Now, what I like about that one is that of all the timepieces you've seen, it's the only one that has a very unusual color configuration. It's a see-through case. So you're seeing so many things happening inside it. And I like the fact that it's just a watch that's just, when you look at it, you're probably going to be like hypnotized by it with all the moving parts and everything. And I think because of the way that it's been set up, the color, it really, I think this is an acquired taste, but for me, I like the fact that it has what they call this lovely chameleon concept of the changing color case, which is something that may sound like a gimmick, but I definitely like the whole idea of this whole changing color case. And for me, the third one is definitely the AP. But all in all, these 3 are my top 3. The Beauvais, the Artia, and the AP Royal Oak concept split seconds. Yeah, so I would say that the AP has a very industrial, urban look. The Artia is more like fancy schmancy, hip and cool. The Beauvais is very sophisticated, very elegant. Yeah, these would be my top 3 from this whole series.
Hi to Bufaris and Chili Badger likes the world time.
Bufaris.
Very good 90 sci-fi.
Hey, Bufaris. Mahaba.
Hey, Jamie.
Jamie's saying there's only one,
Hey,
one
Jamie.
world time in town. That's a Patek. He's saying.
Thomas, do you have a wrench? Can you please remove
only
for that comment?
So we'll move on to our category to the iconic one. And I know, Bill, you chose the Breitling, didn't you? Why did you choose that?
This category is when you run out of ideas, you have iconic.
Very good.
I think this is a category that they ought to get rid of and put it in a travel category or something else. I think of all of the things that I don't know. I get, I put Breitling in because I don't like Breitling, and so I figured they deserve it. I don't know. I don't mean to sound like a curmudgeon, but iconic. Yeah, what can I say?
Oh, bless you. You put it in because you don't like Breitling. Well, you're a Breitling fan, JCB. Would you put this one in? Is your choice?
Yeah, like Bill was saying, it's just a weird category, isn't it? Like, I mean, it's just, yeah, I don't really get it, to be honest. But would I put that one in for the Breitling? Probably not the ice blue one. Wouldn't you just go for the normal black and white Navitimer? I don't know, but then it becomes boring. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I don't get this category, to be honest.
Yeah, Abdul chose the Tag Heuer Carrera chronograph.
I used the same thinking as Bill. I'm not a big fan of Tag Heuer, and they did great last year this year with this chronograph. And for me, the iconic category was like a consolation prize. You give it to a Swiss brand that was doing bad, or they're feeling bad about themselves, so you're giving them something. Hey, here's a prize.
You mean this iconic category serves a purpose? So who did we forget, or who did we not honor? So it's basically the rubbish bin.
Yeah, exactly. So let's take one of these guys out of the rubbish and give them a prize. Like, hey, you want something? So I thought Tag would win that.
The Watch Apprentice chose the Chopard, which this one's won the Revolution award as best men's watch.
It's a wonderful watch, but why is that iconic? It is wonderful. Don't get me wrong, and it helped to boost Chopard's image as a serious watchmaker. I know that. In my opinion, in this category, if you're taking that serious, there can be only one winner, and that is the AP Royal Oak Offshore, because it lifted AP onto a total new level. The normal Royal Oak was dead and boring and an old man's watch, and this watch made AP and the Royal Oak hip again. That was the first flexing watch before Richard Mille was out and all the others. Right. So if we're taking that category seriously for one moment, I think there is only one winner, and that is the Offshore.
Right. Well, I went with the Freak just because and that was the winner of this category.
Yeah.
And I just love the Freak's freaky design. Just loved it. But I don't know what your opinions are on this. What do you think of Freak, Bill?
One thing, didn't Elise Nardine and Gerard Perregaux, weren't they just cut loose from the Kering group recently?
I'm not too sure.
They sort of became part of either some other larger I don't know what tent, or they sort of they're independent in sort of a funny way now. And that would be one reason I'd be glad to see Elise Nardine or Gerard Perregaux win something. But that was my understanding. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. I haven't. You're more knowledgeable than me on that side of things. But I just find it a funky watch. I really like the design of it and the integration of the movement into the hands, and yeah.
Would you buy that watch, Thomas? Would you buy a UN Freak? Would you put your hard earned into one?
I don't have the money. No, but they're going for. I mean, I was watching Bobby Leggs' stream the other day, and Damon Reeves was looking them up, and they're going for $30,000, which is just far too much. Far too much.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, we'll move on to the Tourbillons, and I know that you went for the winner, Bill, the Laurent Ferrier. Did you honestly like this watch?
Yeah, Laurent Ferrier, I really like his designs because I like the simplicity of it. And to put a tourbillon in that's another one of my mini picadillos. I don't care for tourbillons at all because they're sort of like, putting on, I don't know. It just sort of something that doesn't exactly work like it was supposed to for a pocket watch. The vertical one that FP Journe had, I think may actually work a little on it. And I'd rather see something like a Remontois or something else. But if you're going to put on a tourbillon, I think and sort of having some sense of functionality, I like it on a clean watch. Otherwise, it's fun to watch a tourbillon show. If you like those, you can watch them do their little thing in the case. And I like that sort of as a concept. I like it, but I don't know. I'm not crazy about it. I'll put it that way. But it was sort of out of that lot. I mean, you have somebody with a bad attitude making a choice. That's like, I don't know how much good that is. Let me ask you guys about something. A while ago, Federico sort of went off on Arnold and Son. He said that his watchmaker really didn't like. He said Arnold and Son watches were hard to fix. They kept breaking down. I don't know whether that was the only person I heard that from, and I was curious to what your views were. I like the looks of this. I mean, it's probably, in my opinion, would be the best looking one. But I had that sort of thing in my head, and I don't know. What do you guys think?
I like the Arnold and Son. It's the thinnest tourbillon of the lot, 8.3 millimeters thick, and I like them as a brand. I really do like Arnold and Son. I hadn't heard what Federico had said about his watchmaker, but I really like this one. It wasn't my pick. Abdul picked the Bulgari, didn't you, Abdul? What was your reason for picking that?
I do like the Arnold and Son, and same thing here. I didn't hear anything bad about watches breaking down from them or something, but maybe Fed has more experience, let's say, for watches that he gets back from his customers or whatever. I actually chose this one because I really like the screen black combination, and also thinking about the last years of the GPHG award. Bill does this competition on Facebook, which I won once, I think, Bill. And so I was trying to look at the politics of the game, and Bulgari always also wins one. At least with the Octo Finissimo line, they always won. So I thought, okay, they might win this category.
Yeah, with the jumping hour Tourbillon.
Yeah, jumping hour, and it does look really sporty as well. It looks really somehow very modern, but at the same time takes a bit from this old way of showing time on a scale.
Yeah, I think the Watch Apprentice chose the Beauvais, which was another one of their entrance into the GPHG. This 1822 Virtuoso 11, the very first full skeleton Beauvais have done. Not for everyone. I don't know what people's opinions are on this.
The skeletonization is beautiful, spectacular.
It is, yeah, but it's. I think not for everyone. It is very well finished, as you say, Jonathan. But yeah.
But then it has that lug at 12.
Yeah, the lug is always this issue, I think, with a lot of people.
Yeah.
My choice was the HYT just because it was a conical tourbillon, and purely because of that reason I chose it, because it was a different type of tourbillon. You know, it was conical, and I just thought that was a novelty. But the Laurent Ferrier one, I do love Laurent Ferrier. I mean, will there anybody else want to chip in on this one? Y2K, do you have any thoughts, JCB?
I'm on the same page with you, Thomas, for the HYT. I mean, despite the fact that the Arnold and Sons, as well as the Beauvais is definitely for its skeletonization. And I mean, the idea is, how do we perceive tourbillons to be? Like, we should be able to see one of the rotors, moving and all those things. But aside from being too over, giving too constantly saying it's Beauvais, the HYT, as you mentioned, the conical one, actually reached out to me a lot, and I quite like it because it's different. It feels like it's got this pyramid feel, It's like something like very Mayan, I don't know if the viewers and you guys would probably see, but it has this very Mayan, very ancient historical look. So I do quite like that, how it looks complicated, and I think that's what I would like one of my tourbillons to be like. So the HYT gets my vote, definitely.
Yeah. So move on a category to calendar and astronomy, and it was unanimous between the Watch Apprentice, Abdul, and myself that we go for the Beauvais, and the Beauvais won. It's 532,432 Swiss francs, one-piece limited series, has hours, minutes, seconds, day, date, month, power reserve indicator, retrograde minutes, tourbillon, equation of time, special escapement, annual calendar, summer and winter equinox, 240 hours power reserve, and is manually wound, and it's just it's quite a feat. What do you think? What was your opinion on this, Bill?
This is funny. This is the one I chose to win, and I didn't do very well on picking winners this time around, but this was one I picked. Something I just noticed about it, there are two basic cases with Beauvais. The Demi-Air like this one, where they just have the straight lugs, and then they have the bow and crown on the top, and then they have the bar lug on the bottom. And the last one you showed had that had that setup. This one has a demi-air, but I mean the rest of it is beautiful. I think there's something about Beauvais that I really like, and there's something though. I have I guess it's not a prejudice, but maybe it is. So many of these things, these are absolutely gorgeous, wonderful watches, horologically and everything else, but they're way beyond what not only your typical watch buyer, but a collector, who are horribly irresponsible with their money when it comes to watches that are just so expensive now. And I sort of look at this and I think, yeah, this is really nice. Instead of a vacation home, I'll get one of these. And this, I think, is this is played on with a lot of the other watches, but it's really quite a watch.
Yeah, certainly is. Yeah, certainly something. What did any of the rest of you, JCB, Y2K, do you got any thoughts about this category? I mean, I thought the
nothing to add really. I mean, it wasn't really a surprise to me anyway that the Beauvais would take that one out. It's interesting though. I think that it's a one-piece limited edition. I sort of feel like how with race cars they need to make like a few versions to make them to be able to compete in Le Mans or something. You have to have a certain amount of production cars. I feel like a one-piece limited edition is a little bit weird. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just a weird thing having a one-piece watch. I think they should have it. There should be like the one of the criteria for being an entry is that it has to have a certain amount of pieces or something, because otherwise they could just pump in all of their resources into just creating one watch and then make the most crazy watch ever. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but that would also apply to the winner of the big prize, because that is also one of one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
A couple that appealed to me were the Philippe Piccolic. I really like this, and I thought it's a lovely design. The moon phase, and another one which I thought really appealed to me. Well, not appealed, but was interesting. Was the Parmigiani Chinese calendar? It's on the PF. I thought I don't know whether you'd be able to read all of everything going on this style, but don't see many Chinese calendars. I know that Moser brought one out, but I just thought that this was really interesting. So I'll move on. Mechanical exception didn't really happen this category. Another one they tossed aside. There was some.
Was it?
Yeah.
I think the Outlaws won this category.
I think that was an innovation category or something, the Outlaws, right?
Was it innovation? I just remember I was furious they picked and chose the Outlaws and not the AP.
The Hortons was in a new category they invented called the Innovation Prize.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So this one won the Innovation Prize, the Hortons Sphere Series 1. I don't know what's so innovative about it, to be honest with you. Do you, Bill? Any opinions?
Yeah, I got one. The movements on this, I think, are really incredible. This is one of those watches that if you like that style, sort of that television screen dial, these are some fantastic buys you can get. either new old stock or pre-owned, because there's some great horology in what is somewhat of an awkward case. But in terms of getting the most bang for your the most horology, I think for the money, you can pick these things up for a fraction of their MSRP, and they're really quite good watches. But most people just don't, myself included. I'm really not crazy about the dial on it, but they are excellent watches. I may yet get one simply because there's such good insides in them. Not this particular one, but another one.
I would like to ask about the panel's opinion about the Rudy Silver with the double escapement wheels that are connected. I don't believe that this can really work. It puts so much power and friction on the escapement system.
This was my pick, Jonathan, the Rudy Silver. I really liked it because of that mechanism. I don't know whether it can work, but I really liked it because of that mechanism. These dual wheels on the bottom. Do you think it can work, Bill?
I like this guy. I wish he was one of those unknowns. He's unknown pretty much, but I wish he was one of those unknowns that was affordable. His stuff is really nice. I like his. I like Silva a whole lot.
Yeah.
I would wonder how I chose the AP, right?
You chose the Barons.
Yeah, I chose the Shepard. Yeah. I don't remember, to be honest. Which one did I tell you, Tom?
Barons ultra lightweight, I think, but I don't know whether that was in this one.
Oh.
No, it's not in there.
Yeah.
Which one would you have chosen?
The silver one is really nice. I don't know about the friction that will be exerted. Maybe it will need service every couple of years then. But the Shapek looks also fantastic, I have to say.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I like Shapek as a brand, but they tend to, looking at things like the Christopher Ward 12, I was talking about this with Mark P yesterday at the show, and they seem very overpriced, some of the watches, some of the Chapeks. They seem, they don't have micro adjustments on the clasps, and they do seem quite high priced. Although they do some lovely watches. The dress watches on the straps, like the Aventurine dial chronographs, are exceptional, and they use the same Vacher movements as is it Vacher? As Richard Mille do. I don't know. I can't remember whether it was Vacher. I believe it is. But yeah, I really like Chapek as a brand. I love Chapek. Yeah. But it was just interesting to, when we were talking about the Christopher Ward, how cheap you can get that look for. The Watch Apprentice chose the Louis Vuitton tambour automata, and with the snake's tail pointing to the minutes and the snake moving above from the top to reveal the hours. That was another mechanical exception, as they were calling it. We'll talk about, well, this one we'll come to it now. This one, the grand prize, the I've forgotten what it's called again. JCB, can you remind me?
Aguidor. The Aguidor.
Aguidor.
Yeah, Aguidor. Yeah. I mean, this is just mind-blowing. This is
this is the most complicated wristwatch ever been done. So we are talking
23 complications. Yeah, it's 1,723 thousand Swiss francs. It's I mean, it's a perpetual calendar, grand sonnery, petit sonnery, super sonnery,
tourbillon automatique.
Tourbillon automatic, yeah. Flyback chronograph. It does everything. I mean, do you want to tell us a bit more about it, Jonathan?
Yeah, I think it's well deserved, and I can't see too much of that movement, that rotor that leaves the space for the clutch, for the rattrapante. That is just so innovative and so cool. I really like what AP were doing. And keep in mind, Jean-François Benamias now resigned with AP. I think he was CEO for over 20 years. So I think they had to do something in his honor, and it was an easy choice then to pick and choose this one.
What did you think to this, Bill? Were you a fan?
This was my pick for the category. And it was, forget what it was, but I agree with Jonathan about the complications that went into this for this category, and having it won the Grand Prix. Guido Or was well deserved on this one. You know, it's really funny. Audemars Piguet went for, I think, 20 years. They had won more Grand Prix awards than any other brand, but they had never won the top award. And then a couple of years ago, they finally did, and then now they won it again. So, but this one, yeah, this is really some watch. I quite like it. You know, the other thing too, given the amount of complication in that watch, it's a very readable watch. I mean, I like the design of the dial. You can see what's going on there too. So I think this was a good choice.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so
and it's a super watch in 42 millimeters. Let's keep that in mind. When other watch companies are making super complications, we're talking about 45, 46, or even more.
That was a mechanical exception which didn't happen, but so the chronographs. I wanted Grand Seiko to get a break this year, and went for the Tensograph. Just felt sorry for them really, and wanted them to win an award for something, because
the sympathy when to have the sympathy vote, Thomas.
Yeah, sympathy vote. It was. Yeah, they don't really win many awards. The watch
I would like to defend Thomas a little bit for his pick, although for the wrong reasons. I think many people overlook the brilliance of this particular movement. That is a new constructed so I'm not talking about the chronograph module that is tucked on top, but the base movement is a new designed movement with a dual lever escapement, which is really groundbreaking, and people don't recognize it or don't appreciate how brilliantly this particular movement is being done. On top of it, it's really beautiful. It looks much nicer, in my opinion, than the modern AP movements, the automatic movements. So I'm a little bit sad that nobody really realizes how spectacular this base movement is. I agree that putting a chronograph module on top is not really breaking it, but I feel sad that this movement is not really appreciated.
Yeah. I mean, the Watch Apprentice chose the Debatoon monopusher, which is a beautiful watch. I love it. It's aesthetically, it's gorgeous. But I think it's just a 60-second chronograph, is it? Or is the subdial minute counter as well? I'm not too sure about that. But that's a gorgeous piece, the DB8. And then the Peterman Batard chronograph Rattrapant, which is here. Abdul chose this, and you chose this too, Bill. This was a winner.
Yeah. Well, these two young guys they're so talented that it just, I mean, the watches they come out with. A couple of years ago, I think they had one, and they were given a prize for something or other. I forgot what it was. It wasn't one of the main ones, but it was in recognition of how much talent these two guys have, and they're really a delight to see. As far as where's the next Kari Voutinelan and our FP Jorn coming from. I think these two guys are a delight, and I was very happy to see that they won. And their watch is really, I think they have one thing, and that some of the more successful, and by successful I mean financially successful, companies don't have, and that's true artistry. I mean, they have some people who are willing to take all of these little extra craftsman steps to create watches that are really something. And I think, I don't know how long you can stay in business doing that. I hope they're successful. From what I understand, though, there's some people who really appreciate this kind of horology. And so they've got a waiting list, I believe. There's another young guy in France, Cyril something or other. Yeah, who's also has that kind of talent and has that kind of dedication to this kind of horology. Really glad to see they won. Also, I love to say Rattrapant, so I'm always happy to see that too.
So JCB, you're our chronographer, man. Which would you have chosen out of these?
That Peterman Bedat is just right up my alley. A beautiful watch. And I'm glad it took it out. You got a skeletonized / open work, split-second chronograph. I mean, what more do you want? That's just, beautiful watch. That would have been my pick. Well, I tried the Skipper on this week, the Tag Heuer, and that was a pretty cool watch too. Obviously not in the same league as the Peterman, but that was a cool piece. I really like that one.
The Skipper's a lovely watch. I'm a big fan of this as well myself, and also I really like the Singer Reimagined as well. To be honest with you, they use Agengraph movements, Bill, and beautiful. I love the Singers. Not so much a fan of the Audemars Piguet offshore self-winding flying tourbillon chronograph is a bit too much for me. This, but hey,
yeah, me too.
Yeah,
there's much going on there.
Yeah, what do you think, Y2K? Any favorites out of these?
For me, the Singer Reimagined definitely, I think has a very, very personal touch to me, because number one, of all the pieces, movements aside, I also look at the case, the design, the look, the color. The Singer Reimagined is my number one choice because of how it looks like it looks like a classic vintage car speedometer. If for those auto enthusiasts, if you look at it, it has that feel of it. And for me, I like how the case is actually very different as compared to what we've always think about watches. The case design is always more circular, but this one, it really is in a class of its own, you know. And if we look at the power reserve, it's about 72 hours. Aside from that, I quite like it, you know, and it's just unique in its own way. I do know that the Tag Heuer is probably more on the fun side. Now that one, the color is a bit hard to match for me. Grand Seiko is one thing that Jonathan mentioned about is very, very true. It's about the movement. Like whenever sometimes we hear about Grand Seiko, sometimes we think about the spring drive and all those things. In terms of the design, Grand Seiko, I might say that this is actually pretty good. But that design, I think Grand Seiko has actually done very well for themselves. That's really honorable mention for Grand Seiko. Yeah.
So I'll move on quickly to the sports category. And Abdul, you love the Gronfeld. 1969 Delta Works. And yeah, I'm with you on this one.
Yeah, I mean, how can you pick a Tudor over that?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, this is politics 101, to be honest. Like, how really could you pick a Tudor over this one?
I think you picked this as well, did you, Bill?
You know, something about this watch, this was my pick. I don't think it was the best sports watch. I mean, if you can't, you know, wear a watch to mud wrestling or something, how can it be a sports watch?
Yeah,
and I think what happened a number of years ago in 2017, there were all of these really incredible sports watches. And I knew the judge who was they had a group who was judging the sports watches. And I talked to him afterwards. I said, how in the world did this, I think Eberhard won that year for sports watches. And he said, you look at all of these other ones and they're really expensive. But this Eberhard, which had an ETA base in it, did the same thing and it did it quite well. And then they fired him after he made that decision, but as a judge. But I thought that was a good way to look at it. Of all of the watches, almost all of the watches in the entire group, this is one I would like, the Gronfeld. And I have sort of a fatal attraction to Doxa. I've always liked Doxa, and they usually don't even make it to nominations. But I mean, just sort of as a fun watch to have, as a sports watch.
Yeah, I love this Doxa Army as well. I mean, it's a great watch. I don't like the bronze bezel ring, but I love the Doxa Army as well.
Sorry, Thomas, you said you don't like the what?
The bronze bezel ring.
Oh, okay.
On the outside.
Okay.
The Watch Apprentice chose the Sartori Biard, but that didn't make the nominees. And I like the Erin Marine re-edition, but that didn't make the nominees. So I would have gone with the Gronfeld. But the winner was, of course, a bit of underhand. I don't know whether there's some underhand goings on going on here with a Tudor, but it's a great watch. I love the Pelagos. I'm wearing a Tudor at the moment, and the Pelagos is a cracking watch. It's the nearest you get to the original Tudor Submariner, I think. But the Tudor have to win. I mean, they had a few entries. I mean, what do you think, Abdul?
Yeah, it's the Tudor syndrome, I think, the GPHG award. They have to put Tudor in as a winner just to keep Rolex happy. Like, hey, you guys won a prize with a watch that you did over and over
Send
since
money now.
2013.
Send money now.
Yeah, exactly.
No, Abdul, no, that would be like consolation prize. It's like, oh, you still won, but I'll just, for the sake of appearances, here's a consolation prize. Oh, you know,
Yeah.
that, I don't know. For me, I felt like I don't agree that Tudor should win. I'm gonna get a lot of flack, but I personally feel that the Doxa and the Tag Heuer, for me, sports watch is a very strict category. It's very direct, you know, and it has certain like criteria that you need to meet for sports watch. And to me, Doxa number 1, Tag Heuer number 2. But I'm not saying that Tudor Pelagos cannot be a sports watch, but I think it's a bit like, it's like everybody comes to a party and you drive for example, you drive a pickup truck, and then suddenly someone shows up in a Porsche 911. It's like, what? Sorry, bad analogy.
Yeah, so that was Tudor doing it again. I mean, any opinions, JCB?
No, it sort of feels like the judges pick Tudor so that they can, I don't know, keep their name on the Rolex AD wait list or something. You know? That's what it feels like. I don't know. Like every year, Tudor comes out with this bullshit. It's just like, what's going on? But looking at these, like just stepping back and looking at these watches, I really like the Monza is actually sort of growing on me. That's a flyback. Obviously, the skeletonized, got the carbon case. It's just way different. It's a very funky, you know, obviously very, very Marmite watch. It's not going to be everyone's taste.
Yeah, and not really overpriced. It's also
that's something cool about that watch, I think. I sort of feel like Tag is there's certain niches within the Tag catalog that they're you know, appealing to the enthusiast market, and I feel like they've been doing some good things over the last 12 months, and this is sort of one of them, maybe.
Yeah.
Cool piece.
So move on to the jewellery quickly. Abdul thought that the Van Cleef and Arpels would win. The Ludo Secret watch. Lovely piece of jewellery, that one. I mean, the top flips. Did you want to say something about
I voted for all of the Van Cleef and Arpels because in the past I found out that voting against him you lost. This year it was the opposite. So
exactly,
you know, it's one of those things. I guess they didn't. I don't know what's going on.
They didn't pay the fee, let's say.
Yeah, I think something they deserved it won this year. I don't know what it was. I never figured it out. Well, I do like it though. I mean, you know, the Bulgari with the cuff one, I guess.
Yeah, the watch apprentice went for this swinging Soto, which is lovely. I think it'd be a nice necklace with a watch on it. Lovely piece of jewelry again, and of course, I went for the winner, the Bulgari Serpentine Cleopatra. Something that Cleopatra would have worn, I think. It was just lovely. Yeah, so that's the jewelry category. So we'll move on to artistic crafts. Now this is Abdul, you went with the winner, the Piaget Altiplano, Metiers d'Art. That was the winner, and that was the one you fancied.
Yeah, it looked amazing, the dial, how it's constructed and everything. And I went for also Piaget because I thought they won't win the first one with the ladies' complication or the ladies' watch. And I wanted Piaget to win one prize. And this was, for me, the most prevalent one that they would win.
Yeah. Any opinions on this for being the winner? Bill?
No, I went with Van Cleef on our pals again and lost again and didn't even like it. They had a this one I just didn't think it was appealing. You know, actually the one I probably liked the best was the Anderson, the first one. I like the simplicity of that. And there's something about that watch I liked. And the other ones, for the most part, I don't know. These really, I think both of these, the last two categories are women's watches. And one of the things about women's watches, I think I really like, and I think women do too, are watches that you can actually tell the time with. I mean, that are big enough so you can see the time. And I think that a lot of these older ones, the one with what was the not the Piaget, but the one that had like just a little bitty clock on it. I mean, so this is one I like the best, even though I voted for Van Cleef at Arpels.
Yeah.
Yeah. As we're talking about Anders in Genève, I'm not sure if I can stay much longer, but I found it heartwarming to see Sven Andersen and Vincent Calabrese being honored with standing ovations, because those guys broadened the path for so many individual watchmakers that we see today and that we rave about, and we're fascinated about the different paths that people go. And I was really touched having those guys honored. I was also touched by the suit that Sven Andersen wore, which was probably 30 years old. I've met him in Geneva, and he feels most comfortable in his lab coat, as far as I experienced him. But I think that was a wonderful gesture.
Yeah, I met both Sven Andersen and Vincent Calabrese at the AHCI show this year, and I think they founded the HCI, didn't they?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's brilliant to have them get some recognition for that. But just continuing with the artistic crafts, the Watch Apprentice chose the Jacob & Co., which didn't make it. And I went with the Hermes Slim, which didn't make it. So anybody else got any choices that they liked out of these? Or is the Piaget the straight winner? The Sarpaneva was an interesting one, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And but
I really like the Sarpaneva, but they won, I think, last year with one of their watches, the Nocturnal one. So it's the same
watch,
idea. Yeah.
Owl.
Same idea on this watch, but different motif. So that's why I didn't even select them as well.
Yeah. So quickly onto the Petit Aiguille, which was now I loved the Louis Erard for me. And I originally liked the Fears Alliance as well watch, but that didn't make it. The Watch Apprentice loved the Louis Erard as well, and he wants to get one of these, the Constantine Shaken collaboration. I love regulator watches, and so does he. And he loved Constantine Shaken, and it's the best way to get Constantine Shaken on a budget, really. Yeah, that's the Time Eater. And Abdul, you went for the winner, which was the Christopher Ward, and I'm so glad that Tudor didn't win this. And Bill, did you go for the Christopher Ward as well?
This was in we had that Grand Prix pick where everyone votes on a watch. This one was the most picked by everybody. I'm very happy to see Christopher Ward win this. I have some there's a lot of doubts about what's really going on with the Grand Prix, and it's called the Grand Prix de Genève, just Geneva, Swiss, and sometimes I wonder if there isn't sort of a extra amount of credit given to something because it is Swiss. And this is I don't know, is the movement on this one? Christopher Ward had some deal with some Swiss company, and I'm not sure if they were the ones who did the movement on the Bel Canto. Anyway, I'm glad it won, and I think it deserved to win. I like this watch.
Yeah. Anybody else's opinion on the Bel Canto?
Yeah, I really like it. Yeah, I remember when it came out and everyone was just losing their minds over it, and they still have. It's got big wait lists, and now that it's won this award, I think it's going to be, even the wait lists are going to be even longer. But and they're packaging this up for, I don't know, £3,000 or something like that, or
Yeah.
might even be less. Like getting a Sonnery watch in that price range is just a massive statement from Christopher Ward. I think it's really cool. I like it.
Yeah, no, Russell's got one of these, so he really likes it. And yeah, really nice piece.
And you don't get to see chiming watches within this price range. You don't get to see it at all. So I think that's a big feature that Christopher Ward did. So for me, there were clear winner in this category, to be honest. If they didn't win and Tudor won, I would have been like, okay, what the hell is happening?
So let's on to the challenge category quickly, and Abdul, you chose the age looker 9204S11, which didn't make the cut. I chose the Watch Apprentice, went for the Studio Underdog, which I think was a big favorite to win, but didn't. Richard Bank from Studio Underdog doing great stuff, and he's recently brought out a field watch. I like the Duranto watches, Aerolite, but that didn't make the cut. And out of this slot, I would have gone for the Studio Underdog. But a bit of a surprise all around, the Raymond Wheel one. The Millesime Small Seconds Automatic. Any opinions on this? Bill, do you want to start us off?
That surprised me. It's sometimes I wonder if an award like the Challenge Award isn't given to a watch company that's saying, okay, you know your place. And Raymond Weil hasn't made their own movement. They've been around since 77 or something like that. I used to have one of these. I had a Raymond Weil because I didn't know any better. And I had it for a number of years and it worked. It's, they make decent watches. A lot of them, though, are sort of, they try to make them look like they're really more than what they are. Essentially, they're watches with either ETA or Sellita movements, as far as I know. And I was very surprised. I like the Underdog, and I like the Louis Arad in this category a lot. And I was very surprised, like everybody else, that this one won. But I was even surprised that it made nominations.
Yeah.
But both the Underdog and Timeless, I think, in this category were the two that.
What do you think, JCB? Would you have gone for the Chrono Tokyo or the?
Yeah, For me, probably the Chrono and the Studio Underdog are probably the two standouts here. Chrono as a brand, I just really like what they do. You know, they've got this really Japanese, really sort of, their design language is very much, it's distinctive, you know, and so any brand that is coming out with their own designs, and when you sort of see them, you can sort of feel their DNA coming through. That's what I feel like with Chrono. They sort of have that going on, which is really cool. So yeah, I would have like either this one or probably the Studio. I think just the way that they're playing with the colors, and you know, it's I know it's something as silly as colors, which is making us sort of, you know, look at these watches, but it's cool. It's sort of playful. It's fun.
The whole challenge category is a bit funny, really. I mean, what is the challenge? I don't know what challenge.
No idea. I think Raymond, we might have won this because the challenge was they made the Louis Vuitton Tombour watch for maybe 1/10 of the price, right? If you compare this one to the new Louis Vuitton with the integrated bracelet, if you put an integrated bracelet on this one, they would be copy paste from each other. So maybe that was the challenge, that they made a watch that looks much more expensive than it is. But other than that, I don't understand also the mindset behind them winning. Maybe just the brand was going to be dead, so giving them a push with the GPHG award will push the sales up of the watch. That might be the mindset behind it, I guess.
So the clocks, and Abdul went for the Unnamed Society clock. This one looking a bit like a football, which was interesting.
Or a Weber barbecue.
Yeah, the barbecue. The watch apprentice went for the Van Cleef & Arpels, which is a work of art. Absolute work of art. I mean, and they won last year, I believe.
Yeah, they did.
And I went for the one that won, the Maison Eclis. Just because I thought it was the Pussy Azur, just because it comes in a kit form. This, I believe. It comes in a kit, so there's a little romance in the fact that you assemble the clock from the 169 of its 233 components that come in the kit, and the only regulating organ is pre-assembled. Only the regulating organ is pre-assembled. Sorry, but it's limited to 500 pieces, and it's 5,800 Swiss francs. But I really like this one, and as I say, it's a bit of romance that you build your own clock. What did you think, Bill, to this category?
Somehow it reminded me of a coffee grinder, but you're right. It's a very interesting looking clock. That's all I
do like the idea of putting it together. Yeah, I saw even in the rewards video, they got like a small video of a guy and his daughter opening this case and putting the watch together. And I think the concept is the one that made the jury win. But to be honest, the Van Cleef & Arpels is just fantastic. It's just a work of art.
Yeah, so there was one special jury prize, like Jonathan mentioned, and see if we can pull up that picture of Vincent Calabrese and Sven Anderson. Just down here. I have to make it a bit bigger.
Yeah, and they gave the mechanical clock prize to the LEP and the Audacity to the Maison. I think they made another switch here in this last one.
Another switch, right? Yeah. So here we have Vincent Calabrese on the left and Sven Anderson on the right here, and as Jonathan says, I think it's about time they got recognition for forming the HCI, Academy Horology Creative Independent, I think it is, or Association Horology Creative Independent. But there's some. I went to the AHCI show in Geneva this year and just met some amazing people. Hajime Asoka, Bernard Lederer, Vincent Calabrese, Karvitz-Lenin, Vini Halter, it's a sort of hub of the top watchmakers. Konstantin Chaikin, Stefan Kadoki, so I'm really glad that they got recognition. Really glad. So I'd just like to dedicate this show, while you're here, Bill, to our good friend Bruce Lionel, who's sorely missed. It was the 2nd anniversary of his passing on Thursday, the 9th. And here's a lovely photo of you and him at Watch Time New York in 2019. And I don't know if you've got any memories of Bruce.
Yeah, that picture reminds me of the last time that I saw Bruce. Bruce and I and Adam sat down with Stephen Forsey. He was it was one of those things that it was away from the booth, and he just was, I think he was sort of pooped out. So all 4 of us sat down at one of those tables and had a great conversation with Forsey. He was a great guy. And of course, Bruce was, he was just a good person. I really sorry to see him, pass away so young.
Absolutely, yeah. He was a great person. Blue Shirt Buddhas, who's known on the streams, and he's a good friend of both JCB's and Abdul's and all of ours. Yeah, he ran his own stream, and I'd just like to play. Do you have to go, JCB? Or
I'm gonna jump off. I'll leave you guys to it. Enjoy the show, and
okay.
I'll see you guys soon.
Thank you, JCB.
See you guys. Bye.
JCB, have a great one.
I'd just like to play a little bit of a soundbite that was put together of Bruce.
And we're live. Welcome to another episode of Watch Talk with the Punters. My name's Blue Shirt. Welcome back, everybody. It's been a while, but we're back. For those of you who are new, this is Sunday with the Punters, and you'll find no experts or gurus here. This is just 6 friends talking about watches, and you've got the handsome devil behind the controls, flipping Zippo. Yeah, Thomas Burnett over in England, NS something up in Canada, and Neo, and then the sixth friend is you guys. You guys are an integral part of the show, so just sit back and relax, and we'll talk some watches. Everybody's more than welcome. So please. Every so often, please post the link in the chat for anybody to come on. All right. Just want to say hello to some people, all of our friends in the chat. There's a Six Killer, our good friend Geezer, welcome. L29, MJT, Clam Walker, what's up, Clam? Please say hello to Lucian. Brent, Bobby Legs, Amin is in there. Hello, guys. Peter C, Mark P, Riss Ross. Hello, everybody. Good to see you. Orange Hand, always good to see you, my friend. Eric the Hollander, welcome. Hands, Knees, and Toes. HBA, Underachieving Watch Collector. Dan Tillerman. Lexter Dexter, thank you for joining us. Showcase Watches. Hey, James. I think I've pretty much got everybody so far. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Turkey Vulture. What's up, pal? And Carlos, my friend, or my Doxa brother from Panama. How are you, Carlos? Good to see you. Penny from All in Her Movement. Welcome, Penny. Junior Johnson. Always good to see you, my friend. Thank you for joining us. Wilson, Mason One, McLovin, Joe 90, BDev, Vintage Rolex Watch Consulting Services, Abdul, another good friend of ours. Good to see you. Checking in from Germany. Forbin Colossus. Chaz from the Berg is listening in while he's driving. Watch yourself. I think I covered everybody. Oh, Neville Grimshaw. Chip Gauge. What's up, guys? Tennessee Mike, thank you for joining us. What's up, Watches and Giggles? You did a nice job on Clive's stream. I just watched that this morning. Williams Watches, good to see you, my friend. Hey, GMT Master, thanks for dropping by. Good to see everybody. Thank you for joining us. We got Oil Money Watches, Rosa, hey, 73 MAF, how are you? Hey, Matthew. Let me just say hello to Manor Joseph, Jeb, Alejandro. Thank you for joining us. William Rizzo, Golden Baba, Logan Hall. What's up, man? So glad everybody could make it. We always got a good group here. Detroit Spartan, Rajiv, Smoke, Mr. Perpetual, EP, 90 Knots, our good longtime friend Hadi from Texas, Bud the Stud Donald, Chris from the Watch Lounge. Welcome, everybody. Marco, congratulations on the new Submariner. We've got Michelle. Who else do we have in here? JJ Lecoute, welcome. Lee Jasek, Ken Spear, and Dr. Bill Sanders, welcome. Thank you for joining us, Bill. Bobby Smith, Sanjay, Wolfgang, Fries with Mayo, Tim Queenan, Curtis, Jeffrey Deach. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. You guys are piling in, and we really appreciate you tuning us in. Simucon Reviews. And we got Dodger, Salty Paul, Shot in the Dark, and Clocks and Clocks. Welcome, guys. Welcome, everybody. Rich Buddy, how's it going, pal? And prayers to Hisham, Rick Bremaker, Rick on Watches. Welcome. Slatsman, Mr. C, $1. Just Steve Folk, Ron the Shrink, Paul M. What's up, pal? Daniel, Alex. And I think I covered everybody. Oh, hello, Pontiff. Hello, Pontiff.
I gotta tell you guys, Blue Shirt Buddha, he's like a really nice guy. You know, he's always loved the hobby. He's a nice guy. He doesn't say anything bad about anyone. Just a nice guy, you know? Very nice guy.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Clive the Watch Wrangler, aka the Rancher, joining us as well. And Mark Goldberg, host of Mark Vlogs Watches, aka the Dog Trainer. Blue Shirt Buddha! Yeah, that is awesome. all our friends are here. Good to see all you guys and everybody else in here. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us again. This should be an interesting episode.
Yeah, that was a little soundbite that I wanted to play just because it was a little clip that Neo got together, and I wanted to hear Bruce's. I always play that now and again just to hear Bruce's voice because I love hearing him, and he was a great guy, and yeah, he had his own show, and that was he used to welcome people on his show that he did. He was such a welcoming guy, such a lovely man. As I never met him in person like you, Bill, but he's here he is with Tim Mosso at the Watch Time event, and here he is with his loving wife, Debbie, and he's such a kind man, a thoughtful man, and a genuine watch enthusiast. Ended up working in Torno towards the end of his life, and in New York, and yeah, dearly missed. Yeah.
Thomas, thanks for having this for everyone. I do have to run along now, but thanks
Thank you
again.
very much for joining us, Bill. Thank you so
Thanks, Bill,
much
for
for
joining.
joining us. Yeah,
It was my pleasure. Take care.
Great to have
Take
you.
care, Bill.
Thank you. Take care, Bill. Yeah, if you're not aware of Bill's channel, Watch Outside, please subscribe to Bill's channel. I'm sure you're all aware of it. He's a great man. It's total watch oracle. Yeah, he's the man with the plan as far as horology goes. But it's come around to the end of the show now, guys, and I'd just like to say if you enjoyed I'll take Bruce off the screen now as we pay tribute to him, and yeah, God bless you, Bruce. Yeah, rest in peace. So guys, hope you enjoyed the show today. Wearing my watch that I bought in memory of Bruce, the Tudor P01, and I enjoy it, and it reminds me of him every time I wear it. Great to see you, JJ. Yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for
joining.
Thank
you, Bill.
And
Jonathan, JCB.
Thank you, Bill, Jonathan, JCB. Exactly. And thank you to everyone who's watched. Bill, Tom Austin, Chili Badger, Mick in Florida, Kevin Hawthorne,
Bafaris, Jamie.
Gonzo Jamie, Bafaris, everyone who joined in the chat, anyone I missed out, Russell, yeah, we Erin Fletcher as well. I'll drop the link. Oh, sorry, Erin. I'll do an accent for you next time. We do a show. But yeah, we did a show for you guys, and we hope you enjoy it. And so if you could give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, that'd be great. We'd love that. And if you're not subscribed, it's an invitation to subscribe. So but for now, take care, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks,
Abdul,
Great one.
Thomas, thank you.
Take care.
Guys, thanks Tom for the preparation.